Welcome to the Sisterhood Podcast. Pull up a seat and turn it up, because this season, we're not holding back. This is real life, real faith, and the kind of conversations you didn't know you needed. We're talking about following God when it's messy, trusting Him when it's unclear, and showing up even when it's not easy. No filters, no fluff, just truth, growth, and a whole lot of Jesus. So grab your coffee, slide into the booth, and stay a while. You're not just listening, you're part of this. This is the Sisterhood Podcast. Season 4 starts right now.
Welcome back to Season 4 of the Sisterhood Podcast.
Welcome back. 4 seasons. We made it.
Yes, and it's been 4 months since the last one.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
We've been so surprised, I will say, even with this 4-month break, like, y'all are still listening, or there may be new listening, listeners,
sharing.
Yes. And so it's been really exciting to know that even though we were on a break,
18 pages back in front.
yes.
If you know, you know. But they don't know, we know they know.
Yeah.
If you know.
So if you want to comment and let us know that you know,
That we know.
then we'll keep up with it.
You can do that now.
Yes, do that now. But we are so excited to be back for Season 4. We really feel like God's kind of shifting how the first couple of seasons have been, where we've talked a lot about healing and overcoming and grief and hard times. And we were talking the other night just how God just kind of aligned, especially the episode that's coming out next week, just how God is just right up in the middle of what we're going through.
Yeah.
And we'll get into some of that, but we're excited to be back.
We missed it so much.
I know.
I missed it.
Huge. I have too. We've been getting together. Megan and I have introduced Wednesday lunch dates because we were just not seeing each other. I mean, we were seeing each other, but we were just making intentional time to slow down. And so it's been really nice. And just the way that God's kind of put us in this season, and we're just going to go with it, and what happens. And which I feel like that's how all of our seasons have been where the first season we were so like scripted, structured.
Yes.
This is what it's going to look like. And I just feel like we've kind of got in a groove of it's His, it's not ours. And we're just going to be obedient with what He gives us to share. And
I think we come prepared, but not limited.
Yes. Yeah. So we just want to catch up this first episode back in.
So many good things over the last 4 months.
Yes. So many things. I'll let you start.
Great.
If you want to, or I can start.
No. We'll say over the last 4 months, let's see, I've been in a role, a newish role to me, and I'm now pursuing a newer role. So I've accepted it's in the same company, but it's just a different role altogether, more management oriented. And so there's a lot more moving pieces, but something that's a little more aligned with the way that I like to operate in mentoring and coaching. Mm-hmm. There's a little bit of recruiting. So some exciting things that I'm going to get to do that I've not done before. Yeah. Which is nerve wracking, but good. Still, our church continues to grow. We, in February, we opened our multi-purpose building at our church. And so we were able to switch to one service. I don't think that's going to last much longer because we're packing it in, and it's so exciting to watch it grow like that. Having leaders that take the stewarding of that growth seriously is such a gift, and I'm very thankful for that. I'm still doing worship there, a part of worship there, very thankful to be a part of it. And also helped launch a Sunday night Bible study. Yeah. So that started I think that also started in February.
Yeah, there's a lot that happened in February.
Yeah. And that's been really good. It's a community option for Sunday night attendance, and very intimate, very focused study. It's more of a deep dive into scripture, which is really, really cool. And our pastor that leads that, Larry, just really expands your knowledge and the history and the culture behind the scripture, in addition to all of the translations and the various meanings. It's just been really, really good for me on a personal level of my spiritual walk.
Yeah. She's I'm like, I don't know how much more she can add to her plate, but then I sit here and look at all that has happened in the last 4 months for me as well. And I'm like, okay, I've also added some things to my plate. But the end of last season, I was talking about, for me, my devotional. It was launching in January.
And she did it.
And I did it. have it here. Here she is in
She's so pretty.
her little 80-page glory. But yes, it released January 20th. And just seeing what the Lord has done with it, I didn't want this to be anything about me or like me getting any kind of glory, but just wanting it to point people to Jesus. And this weekend, I actually had the opportunity to set up a table at our my church's denomination has a state women's conference. And so I got to be a part of that this weekend and set up a table. And I had my devotional there and just got to talk with different women that were going through infertility or have experienced loss or anything like that, and just got to see the way God moved. And then I actually met our state overseer's wife. She came up to me when I was setting up, and so she was like, "So what are you setting up a table for?" And so I told her, and I was like, "I wrote a devotional just about my season of infertility and all of that." And she just like grabbed my arm and she was like, "I just want you to know, when we were in this room praying yesterday, we prayed for this." She was like, "We prayed for infertility, but we prayed for God to make a way for women to find him in their season." And she was like, "I didn't know that you were setting up or that you would have this table." And this is the first time I've met her. She's just, her and her husband have just recently become our state overseers for our denomination. And so it was just, it gave me such a peace because I was kind of anxious about like setting up a table.
It looked so good.
What if thank you. What if no one like comes up or wants it or takes it? And the Lord blew me away just in the basically 24 hours that I had a table. I sold 12 devotionals.
Awesome.
And so, and then was able to give like cards to people that either didn't have time to get it or anything like that. They were just able to walk away with it. And just, I don't know, it was just like a confirmation that I did what I was supposed to do, because I've been told that like you share your testimony. I didn't know this was exactly going to be the testimony that I was sharing, but just so thankful for that. And then also what God has done in my family the last 4 months. Caleb and he has accepted his calling of preaching. And so him and I in May will be starting denomination. It's called CAMS. It's Calling and Ministry Studies. And then we go into the next level where we do an internship. But it's to be credentialed. And we are both going through the credentialing process, which we tell the Lord that we will never do something. And growing up as a pastor's kid, I was like, I will never be a pastor's wife. And here I am. So don't tell the Lord,
Yes.
Don't tell the Lord never.
Which you won't do.
Yes, because he will have you nevering like you never nevered before. But I am just so incredibly thankful for what he has done. Just the transformation that I've seen in Caleb.
Yeah.
Where it was hard and life was hard. And it's just, I'm not saying it's been easy. But just conversations have become so much easier, and just seeing the way that the Lord's working in him and using him and me. But for so long, I carried that role,
that mantle.
Yeah. And so it was something that has shifted to where it's supposed to be. And I'm just like, okay, this is life. This is life.
Yeah.
So I'm thankful for that, and just how he's moving in that area. But it's been a lot in 4 months.
And we've had obviously our kids are all surviving.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about thriving, but definitely surviving.
Yeah.
In family, surviving / thriving.
Yeah.
All the good things. So other key events and big things that have happened over the last 4 months.
Yeah.
Easter happened like it does every year.
Yeah. I know. And we've just started, I don't know, Easter was so different for me this year. And I think we talked about it some, but I've watched The Passion of the Christ many times, and I don't know, so we did our, the Thursday before Easter, we've started our Last Supper kind of tradition. And to me, it's become one of my more favorite traditions than even anything we do at Christmas. And it was so special, and just the different things that happened during Easter, that Holy Week, and me and Caleb watched The Passion of the Christ. I had not watched it since COVID. And now that Charlie is like a little bit older and watching it again, she did not watch it with us. I don't think she's ready for that just yet.
No.
But watching it back, I guess 2020, I was like still in the throes of a newborn. And so I was just like not fully watching.
Just happened to make it.
We were there. And so watching it this year, it was just, I mean, I always cry when I watch it, but I was sobbing. I could not imagine what it felt like for Mary sitting there watching her son go through this just excruciating pain. And just the way social media has been this year around Easter, and
it's very different.
The way that, I mean, even describing, I saw one thing where it was talking about when they did the whip on his back and how it just literally laid his skin open. So every time he took a breath on the cross, all those nerve endings were just exposed. And so every time he raised up, it was just splinters going straight. And I just never
thought about it.
I mean, we paint such a, I don't want to say pretty picture, but just
such a digestible, like where you can, it's not overwhelming. It doesn't.
Yeah. And I was like, I could not imagine watching my son or daughter experience that. And so Easter
it was different this year.
Was.
We thankful. I talked to Ashleigh, I think a few days before Easter, in time enough to get on Amazon and order Jesus for my kids. And so we make jokes that they carry him wherever they go now, which they always did. But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's his stuff. It's Jesus. And he's just super soft and cute.
Yes, he is.
But we had these big bunny baskets, and Jesus was in there when they woke up on Easter, and they were like, oh, even the bunny has Jesus in his heart. And then Copeland resurrected Jesus many times on Easter. Didn't see that coming. It got a little bit borderline sacrilegious. So I was like, well, maybe we just step that back. Let's just hug Jesus. Let's just hold him. But it was a very different year, I think, because there was so much more social media presence around it, I felt, this year. I felt a lot of people were talking about it past. So it was much more vocalized and physically in your face.
Yeah.
But I watched all of those where it was like, imagine how Mary felt in this moment. And I think too, whenever she was in the conception of Jesus and she had to explain to Joseph, she had to have peace knowing what Jesus was, what she was going to birth the Savior for. So I think there was very much some insight that she carried the whole time. And I just can't imagine having that while you're raising. And then inevitably when you see the actuality of it. Yeah.
It got me. It was a great week, great time. But just there definitely a perspective shift of what this week actually is. Yeah. Also, if you see a random brown blob at the bottom of the screen, this is Dolly.
She's a Dolly.
She's something. She's a mess.
She's precious. She's a precious baby.
But she's joining the podcast today as well. Our first guest this season.
She's so sweet.
But we wanted to just kind of, again, check in and then also share. We also wanted to share something that we would like to introduce this season to kind of focus us in, but have a neat way that you can be involved with it as well. Yeah. So it's not going to be every episode, but it's going to be called Real Talk. And we're going to break down real. And so REAL. R is right now. So it's going to be what life looks like currently. And so we'll each share, obviously, what life looks like.
A glimpse into the magic.
We won't, we're not going to go, this isn't going to be like an in-depth share our whole current life. It's just kind of a synopsis. E is encouragement. What's giving you strength? A is awareness. So what you're learning or realizing. And then L is looking ahead. So what you're stepping into next. And this is not to put pressure on, well, I've got to have this and this and this lined up. This is just like, where are we going? Are we staying in this place? Are we hanging out here for a little bit? Or are we actually we're taking a step? So we're going to kind of go back. This is our first time doing this one. If you heard at the end of last season, we did a joyful report.
Which we loved.
We did love it. And so we kind of wanted to make
something that is ours.
Yes. Yeah. So that's what this is going to be. And so this is our first time going through this. So just bear with us on what that looks like. And if we have to keep looking at Megan's computer, that's what we're doing. We're just kind of reassessing.
The cheat sheet.
It is. So where are you right now?
Yeah, I think and we'll expand more in the next episode. our first actual episode of the season, but really trying to be comfortable in the very uncomfortable lack of balance. And I think there's a lot in me that tells me that I must be doing something wrong, or we tell ourselves, I think I've done a very good job of saying no for a lot of things. And then this season, I feel like I've said so many yeses. And I think a lot of times we tell ourselves that if we are giving too many yeses, then we're not listening and we're not in a place where we're being obedient. And I am finding now, where I currently am, that sometimes the obedience is the no's that allow you to have a season where it's a lot of yes.
Yeah. That's good.
So I think that's where I'm at right now.
For me, we are very much into church, but also focusing on our family. I have said where in the past I've been very yes, 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 yes. I've said a lot of no's, and it's been really nice. It is fun to say no, and I never thought, like, there's part of me that, like, I thought I was going to throw up because I was saying no. Yeah, I was like, you know what? This is what I need for me, for my family, and I'm okay with that. So right now I am enjoying saying no, but also fixing to just go head first into training and preparing
some big yeses.
Some big yeses. So
Yeah.
that's where I am.
Yay. So an encouragement level, what is giving you strength in this season of preparing for the big yeses? Which I would say you've done some pretty big yeses already.
Yeah. For me, it's our Wednesday lunches, but also, I don't know, just making time to reconnect with friends and just having those intentional conversations, because that's where you do find the most encouragement. Obviously, spending fellowship with others for me has been a big thing. And to this past weekend, when I had this conference, Candace and I got a hotel room. I don't know why, because we stayed up basically the whole night.
Did not sleep.
Talking. And when I tell you, so we got back to the hotel room at 11:30, and at 3:10 that morning, I finally said, Candace, words are hard right now. Got to go to sleep because we have to be up at 7. They were so hard. I was like, and she's such a night owl. I don't know if y'all remember. So she was in our season 2. She was one of our guests in season 2. And just, so we had not just had a time to just truly catch up, and just,
if you get to go back and listen, it's a 2-part episode, right? On mental health. And it was so, so good.
Yes. She's amazing. I love her so much. God's just done so much in her family over these last few months.
You got some time to catch up.
Yeah. And so we got to do that. So that's where I'm finding that encouragement, is just being around people who see me, and can pour into me, but also I can offer that back for them. So that's been, it's been really good. I'm really thankful for the people God's put in my life.
I think where I am finding strength right now, for the first, towards the end of last season, with the new role and the new job, I was getting a lot of time on the front end of my to really soak in some good sermons, some good podcasts, some good worship. And then as that job got crazier, as it will, that was a lot less every time. And so I found myself really missing what that intentional piece looks like. And so to your point, our lunches on Wednesdays, even just talking about nonsense, because your spirits are in communication with each other, it just, you feel lighter when you walk away. And so that has been, I wish we could do that every day. It's not feasible, but I wish we could.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because it's so good. And I think that, to your point, having those people that you can pour in but are equally pouring, they're not just takers. They're not just absorbers. I think it's such a beautiful thing to have people in your life that enable that. Have found in our worship team at church several people that are very tuned in and inclined for deep dives. And so that has been another source that I did not see coming in this season of a lot of yeses, where there has been intentional questions around like faith dives and like big questions around like, what does God have for me here? And why am I walking through this? And I think it's been really neat to have some very genuine questions and conversations that I would not have anticipated from certain people. And it's been very growth.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. What are you, which kind of went with the last one too, but what are you learning or realizing? So what's some awareness pieces that have joined conversation?
Yes. So I think that we talk a lot about not finding our identity in the things that we do or the titles that we have or the amount we get paid or, insert whatever that thing is for you. And I think for me, a lot of my identity has always been in where I feel, I am able to overdo or hit that mark way past somebody's standard or expectation. And I watched this TikTok on overachievers, and it was so annoying, but awesome because he was just like, overachievers don't know they're overachieving because when they're overachieving, they think they're just achieving because they compare their achieving to overachievers who are overachieving as well.
Yeah.
And so there's no achieving because there's only overachieving. So you're always failing. And I'm just like, wow. But I get it. Because I think we're aligned in that way. And so I think I'm leaning into a lot of asking what the expectation is, delivering on the expectation. And then if there's room for the plus, then giving room to that, but not setting the bar there because that's where the exhaustion and the burnout and a lot of things come. And then we start to identify with that. And I think that makes something negative.
Yeah.
Pretty quickly.
Yeah. And that's kind of the same for me, is realizing that I don't always have to do the way things everybody else does them, especially going to a church that is a lot of family.
Yeah.
Knowing that my ministry and my husband's ministry is not going to look like my parents' ministry or even another pastor or friend in the church. Like, it's not going to look the same. So I don't have to try to fit a mold that was not created for me, and for Caleb. And so that's what I have a huge awareness of that right now, because you're especially in this like learning process of what it is and the qualifications and the things you have to tick off to meet this criteria. It's like, I don't have to do it the way this person did it. I don't have to do it the way this person did it, because God didn't call them to what he's called us to.
Right.
So that's been really like a big thing for me right now, is that it's not going to look like what everybody else says it's going to, because not everybody else was called to it that way. And I think I'm okay with that. And I'm like, okay.
So looking ahead, we've kind of hit a lot of that, but you are obviously ready to walk through camps with Caleb.
Yeah.
What else as far as what you're stepping into?
So we have that. And then we have our mission trip to Montana this year, which this one is also going to look completely different than the other ones I've served on, because we're doing a revival to the Crow Nation, their Crow agency. So it'll be basically a 7-day tent revival.
Beautiful.
Yeah. And I haven't, not a tent revival, but I've been a part of revival, but where I will be leading worship with 2 other individuals. And it's really exciting because I love Montana. I love the people of Montana. I love what we've done in the past in Montana, but this is also incorporating something that is very much me with worship. And so I'm excited for a different view of Montana in this way. So we're all in it with, we're practicing songs, and they like a lot of the old Southern gospel songs. So it's taking me out of my comfort zone, where I'm very much, I love worship music. It's very evident. And so it's taking me to a place where these songs, even though it's not, I do like Southern gospel, but it's not like my everyday, this is what I'm listening to. So it's taking me to a different place of, why were these songs written? What were they written for? And obviously they're all glorifying the Lord. But I don't know, just it's taking me out of my comfort zone and not just singing the songs that we're familiar with. So that's what I'm looking ahead to. And yours is exciting too.
Yeah. I think a couple things. One of the things you said, with the Bible study that we're doing on Sunday nights, every other Sunday night, we dove a lot more into hymns and old school worship, which is not uncomfortable, to your point, but it's like different.
Yeah.
It's a different path to worship. But it's so beautiful.
Yeah.
So that's been really something that very, very big comfort in. And then also like, wow, just God is so present in it. And so that's been really cool. Outside of that, I think the direction that God is taking me now in work and in my family and all of those dynamics, I'm excited to see what he does with that.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of opportunity for my personal growth.
Yeah.
I'm very anxious, but I know that it's not a door that he has not equipped me for. So I'm excited for those things. I think it's going to be good. So I'm leaning into that. And then the song Nothing Else has just been like on repeat. And I think it was on repeat a lot last season for me. But now I'm just like, it's literally like if I'm just driving, it just comes out of my mouth. So I'm like, okay, we're just going to sit in this for a while.
So I was driving to this conference to go set up on Friday, this past weekend, and the Belonging Co. So they released like some snippets, like some songs from their new album coming up called The Chorus. But the song that I was listening to was called How Awesome, and Hope Darst sings it. And I mean, I'm driving down 385 just sobbing, having a worship service there in my car. And I had not had like a song just hit me like that. And it was good. And we'll share them.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, so I just worship music always just that's where I know the Lord speaks to me the most, is through music. And I don't know, I'm just
I think it's something, it just prepares you for what he was trying to communicate. So I think it just like, it paves the way. Yeah. It makes it so easy to receive from him when you're in that spirit of worship. It just does. Yeah.
Well, that was our first real talk.
Yeah.
So we hope you enjoyed this, and we would love, as we do these, we'll share space for you to leave your real talk and kind of what the Lord's walking with you in. But welcome back to season 4. We're so excited and just looking forward to all that God's going to do this season.
It's going to be so good.
It is. We're going to have some guests again. We'll try to get the husbands back on here. We know y'all really enjoyed just having a male perspective last year. So we do want to include that.
They were great too.
They were funny, and some serious, but I
think they're very funny.
But we'll have just so much good. And we pray that, as always, that you find community here, and that you know that you're never, we can pray for you. You can always DM us. You can email us, whatever you need. We would love to pray. Just offer support and be there for you.
Yeah. So make sure you comment, make sure you share, and make sure you let us know how we can support you. And we're here for that. We're excited for the season though. Yeah. It's going to be good.
Bye.
Thank you again for joining us on another episode of the Sisterhood Podcast. We hope you found something that you can apply, something you can take through your week. And we're so glad you're here.
Yes. And if you did find something that you can take, we would love for you to leave a review or subscribe, hit the stars, share with your friends, share with another sister. This is a great way that you can support our podcast.
Yeah, we're so thankful for it. And so this community can only grow if you share. So thank you for doing that.